A 67-year-old man in Maryland got a $75 fine in the mail last month. He never saw a cop. He never got pulled over. He was simply driving home from the grocery store, went through a green light that turned yellow, and by the time that camera snapped his plate, it was too late. He had no idea that intersection had been updated. With a brand new automated enforcement system that went live on January 5, 2026, he paid the fine. But here is the part that really stings. That single ticket triggered a flag on his insurance record. His premium went up $40 a month, that is $480 a year for one intersection, one camera. One moment he did not even know was being recorded. And if you are thinking that could never happen to you, I need you to keep watching, because that man drove safely for over 40 years, just like you. My name is Dave, and for the past several months I have been doing nothing but tracking every DMV update, state enforcement change, insurance bulletin, and new traffic law rolling out across America in 2026, so you do not have to dig through all of it yourself. What I found genuinely surprised me, and some of it, honestly, made me angry on your behalf. So let me break all of it down for you right now, clearly, honestly, and without any legal jargon. Here is what you need to understand first. Before 2026, most traffic law enforcement in this country relied on one thing: a human officer seeing a violation with their own eyes. That was the system you learned to navigate over decades of safe driving. Speed limits, signals, lane changes, a cop had to physically be there. To catch it, that era is over. Starting in 2026, technology has stepped in at a scale we have never seen before. Automated cameras, AI-powered detection systems, real-time data tracking, and insurance software that monitors your behavior behind the wheel, all of it is now active, right now, in states across the country. And here is why this matters so much to you personally. You have been driving safely for 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. You are not a reckless driver. You are not a teenager texting at 80 miles per hour. You are an experienced, careful person who values your independence. Your car is not just a vehicle, it is how you get to your doctor. It is how you see your grandchildren. It is how you stay connected to the life you have built. That independence is worth protecting. And right now, it is at risk not because you are a bad driver, but because the rules changed without anyone sending you a letter. So let's go through all 10 changes. I am starting with number 10 and working up to number 1, and I promise you, by the time we get to number 1, your jaw will drop. Most people have no idea that particular law even exists. Let's get into it. Number 10. The move-over law just got a lot wider and a lot more expensive. You probably know the move-over law. When you see emergency vehicles stopped on the side of the road with lights flashing, you move over a lane. That law has been on the books in most states for years. But here is what changed. In 2026, states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Minnesota expanded that law to include every vehicle parked on the side of the road with hazard lights flashing, not just police cars, not just ambulances, any car, any truck, any vehicle with those orange lights blinking. If you do not move over or slow down significantly, you can now be cited under primary enforcement, meaning officers can pull you over for this alone. No other reason needed. Imagine you are driving home from church on a Sunday morning. Traffic is light. You notice someone's car broken down on the shoulder with hazard lights blinking. You stay in your lane because you do not see any police lights. Under the new expanded rules in Ohio, that alone can get you pulled over and fined up to $500 on a first offense. In Washington, Oregon, and Colorado, similar lane safety rules for stationary vehicles are now being actively enforced with cameras in some corridors. The fix is simple. Whenever you see any vehicle on the shoulder with lights flashing, hazards, brake lights, anything, move over one full lane if traffic allows. If you cannot safely move over, slow down clearly and visibly. Make it obvious you are yielding. Do that every single time and you will never have a problem with this law. But number 10 is just the warm-up. Number 9 is where things start to get personal. Number 9. The zero-tolerance phone ban is now law in over 30 states and the grace period is gone. You may have heard about hands-free driving laws before. Maybe you even downloaded a Bluetooth headset app or bought a phone mount. But here is what most people do not realize. In 2026, the grace period is officially over in states like Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and 30 other states across the country. These are not warnings anymore. These are hard fines on the spot. Louisiana's new law says you cannot touch your phone at all while driving, not to answer a call, not to change a song, not even to glance at a GPS notification. If you touch it, you get cited. First offense is a $100 fine. Second offense jumps to $300. After that, your license can be suspended, and if the violation happened near a school or construction zone, those fines go even higher. Picture this. You are stopped at a red light. Your phone buzzes in the cup holder. You reach down and tap the screen to silence it, force of habit, something you have done 1,000 times. Under Louisiana's law, that single tap is a ticketable offense. Oklahoma went even further. If you have your phone out anywhere near a school or construction zone, officers can cite you even if you are not actively using it. Here is your fix. Before you start your car, put your phone face down in the glove compartment or your bag. If you use GPS, set it before you pull out of the driveway. If you absolutely must receive calls, use a car Bluetooth system or speakerphone through your car's built-in audio. Do not touch the phone while the car is moving. Not even at a red light. Now here is where it starts to get a little more unsettling, because number 8 is not about what a human officer sees. It is about what a machine sees. Number 8, AI cameras are now watching your hands, not just your speed. In January 2026, the Arkansas Department of Transportation activated a new AI-powered camera system in work zones along state highways. Here is how it works. The camera watches through your windshield. It uses artificial intelligence to detect whether your hands are holding a phone or any other handheld device. If it spots a violation, it does not mail you a ticket. Instead, it sends a live alert to an officer stationed further down the road, and that officer pulls you over when you exit the work zone. This technology is made by an Australian company called Accusensus, and it is already active in the United Kingdom, Greece, and Australia. In a 4-day pilot program in Athens, Greece, one single camera flagged nearly 2,500 violations and triggered over 1,000 fines. That is the kind of scale these systems can operate at, and Arkansas is just the beginning. Traffic enforcement experts are already calling this one of the top trends to watch across America in 2026, with more states expected to adopt similar AI detection systems in school zones, highway corridors, and urban intersections. The fix is the same as number 9, keep your phone completely out of your hands while driving, but there is something bigger here worth sitting with. These cameras are not run by people checking in on you manually. They are AI systems scanning every vehicle, every driver, every second. Whether that feels reassuring or uncomfortable is something only you can decide, but you need to know it is happening. Let us keep moving, because number 7 is one the news barely covered, and it affects where your speed ticket gets sent. Number 7. Automated speed cameras now ticket the car's owner, not the driver. This is a shift that sounds small but has massive real-world consequences. In states like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, automated speed and red light cameras are now set up so that when a violation is captured, the fine is mailed directly to the registered owner of the vehicle. It does not matter who was behind the wheel at the time. It does not matter if you let your grandson borrow your car for the afternoon. If it is your plate, it is your ticket. Here is a real scenario that plays out every week across this country. A grandmother in Phoenix lends her car to her adult son for a Saturday errand. He does not realize the school zone camera near the elementary school is active on weekends. The car gets clocked doing 38 and a 25. 3 weeks later, mom gets a citation in the mail for $237. She did not even know her son was in that neighborhood, but the fine is hers, and so are the insurance implications. Your fix is this. If you ever lend your vehicle to anyone, a family member, a friend, anyone, make sure they know exactly where the speed cameras and school zones are in your area. Better yet, remind them of the current speed limits before they leave. Many states also allow you to contest these citations by identifying the actual driver. Keep a simple note of who uses your car and when, just in case. Now, we have reached the halfway point of this list, and I want to stop for 1 second and talk to you directly. If you are still watching, you are exactly the kind of driver this channel exists for. You care about your license, you care about staying informed, and what I am about to share with you in the second half of this list is something most people have absolutely no idea is happening. It goes beyond fines. It goes beyond cameras. It gets into something far more personal. Stay with me. And if this kind of information is helpful to you, taking 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button means I can keep making videos like this for you every week. Now let us get into number 6, because this one involves your money in a way that might genuinely shock you. Number 6. Red light cameras just went live in new states. And one of them takes a photo of your face. Maryland activated a brand new red light camera program on December 5, 2025, with a 30-day warning period. Starting January 5, 2026, those warnings became real citations. If you run a red light at any of the 9 active camera intersections across Maryland, a fine of $75 gets mailed directly to the registered vehicle owner. No officer, no traffic stop, just a letter in your mailbox. But California took this even further, under a new law allowing cities across the state to install automated red light cameras. The technology being deployed captures 3 things simultaneously: a clear image of your license plate, a clear image of your vehicle, and a high-resolution photograph of the driver's face. That means if you run a red light in a California city with these cameras active, there is a photo of you personally, your face, on record, connected to the violation. Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina are also expanding red light camera integration in 2026. Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana have all updated how moving violations are added to driving records, with more weight now being given to camera-captured citations when calculating your insurance risk score. Here is your fix. Treat every yellow light as a red light. If you are approaching an intersection and the light turns yellow, your default response should be to stop, not to accelerate and beat it. And never assume a camera-free zone exists just because you have never seen a camera there before. In 2026, they are appearing faster than most people realize. Number 5 is where this goes from fines to something that can actually threaten your ability to get insurance at all. Number 5, your driving is being tracked in real time and your insurance company is watching every move. Here is something that has been quietly expanding across America for years, but in 2026 it has reached a tipping point. Major insurance companies including Geico, Progressive, Allstate, and State Farm are all operating what they call telematics programs. These are tracking programs that monitor your driving behavior through an app on your phone or a device plugged into your car. They track your speed, they track how hard you brake, they track what time of day you drive, they track whether you are using your phone. Now, some of these programs offer discounts of up to 40% for safe drivers. That sounds great. But here is the part buried in the fine print. Geico's Driviacy program and Progressive's Snapshot program can also raise your premiums if the data shows behaviors they consider risky, like driving late at night, frequent hard braking, or high mileage on certain road types. You sign up thinking you are saving money, and 6 months later you open your renewal letter and your rate went up instead. And it gets more complicated. The Texas Attorney General sued Allstate and its data affiliate in January 2025 for collecting and selling the driving data of over 45 million Americans to insurance companies without those drivers meaningfully consenting. Apps like Life 360 were used to silently harvest location and driving data, which was then sold and used to increase drivers' insurance rates or drop them from coverage entirely. Your fix is this. Before you opt into any telematics program, read the full privacy policy. Specifically, look for whether your insurer can raise your rates, not just lower them based on the data. If you are already enrolled in one of these programs, call your insurance company and ask directly, "Can this data increase my premium?" You have the right to ask. You also have the right to opt out of most of these programs, but you have to take that step yourself. Now, number 4 is the one that made me the angriest when I researched it. Because this one is not about your insurance company watching you, it is about your car watching you and selling what it sees. Number 4, your car manufacturer may already be selling your location and driving data right now. Modern vehicles are computers on wheels. Your car's infotainment system, GPS, connected apps, and built-in Bluetooth are all collecting data about where you go, when you go there, how you drive, and how long you stay. Most people click "I agree" on the setup screen when they buy a new car and never think about it again. But in 2026, regulators are waking up to exactly how this data is being used. The California Privacy Protection Agency fined a major auto manufacturer $632,500 in March 2025 for violating drivers' privacy rights. The company was requiring customers to jump through excessive hoops just to opt out of data sharing, and it was failing to include proper legal protections in contracts with advertising technology companies that were receiving the data. Oregon passed a law in 2025 banning the sale of precise location data, entirely effective January 2026. Virginia passed a Senate bill in February 2026 to ban location data sales. Maryland, Tennessee, and North Carolina have all introduced their own bills to stop insurers from buying your vehicle's data without your written consent. Here is the scenario that should concern you. You drive to a specialist's office for a medical appointment. Your car logs that trip the address, the time, how long you were there. That data is inside your vehicle's system without strong privacy laws. That information can be sold to a data broker who sells it to an insurance company, who uses it to flag you as a higher health risk and adjust your rates accordingly. This is not science fiction. This is the direction regulators in California, Texas, and Oregon are actively fighting against right now. Your fix is this. Go into your car's settings or the manufacturer's mobile app and look for data sharing or privacy settings. Opt out of every non-essential data sharing option you can find. The instructions are usually buried in the privacy policy section, but they are there. Take 20 minutes this week to find them. Okay, now. We are at number 3, and I promised you this one almost nobody is talking about. Brace yourself. Number 3. If your car was manufactured after 2021, it may already be equipped with technology designed to monitor whether you are impaired and prevent you from driving. In 2021, Congress passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Hidden inside that massive bill was a section called the Halt Drunk Driving Act. That law instructed the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, to develop and mandate a passive impairment detection system for all new vehicles within 5 years of passage. That 5-year clock has now run out. The NHTSA has not yet published its final rule, but the law is still on the books and the pressure is building. Here is what the technology is designed to do. Using cameras that already monitor your eyes and your steering inputs, the same systems used in hands-free highway driving assistance, the car can detect signs of impairment. If it determines the driver is impaired, the system is designed to limit or prevent vehicle operation. The car can decide on its own that you should not be driving. Privacy advocates and some members of Congress are alarmed. In 2025, a bill called H.R. 1137, the No-Kill Switches in Cars Act, was introduced to repeal this mandate. They argue, and this is the critical point, that today's cars already communicate with external servers run by automakers. Any technology that can prevent a car from starting could, in theory, be accessed remotely as it becomes more connected to those servers. The law's supporters, including Mothers Against Drunk Driving, say the technology will save over 10,000 lives per year and does not create any government remote control capability. Here is what you need to know as a driver. Automakers are already building driver monitoring cameras into more vehicles right now. If you drive a newer model, it may already be watching your eyes. And as connected vehicle technology grows, the debate about who controls when your car can operate is only going to get louder. Stay informed. Follow this debate closely and talk to your dealership about exactly what monitoring systems are in your vehicle. Number 2 is going to hit differently than everything we have covered so far, because number 2 is not about a camera or a fine. It is about how a single new law can make an everyday habit into a serious criminal offense. Number 2. Aggressive driving and street racing violations are being reclassified as felonies in multiple states, and social media posts are now admissible as evidence. Oklahoma was one of the first states to draw a hard new line, and it went into effect November 1, 2025. Aggravated DUI in Oklahoma is now classified as a felony offense even for first-time offenders in certain circumstances, not a misdemeanor, a felony. That means potential prison time, a permanent criminal record, and in many cases the permanent revocation of your driver's license. Colorado introduced legislation in 2026 targeting street racing, including organized events promoted on social media. Under the proposed bill, vehicles involved in speed racing can be immobilized for up to 30 days, and owners pay a $35 per day storage fee until they retrieve them. More significantly, the bill explicitly states that live streams and social media posts can be used as evidence in prosecution. If anyone filmed the event and posted it online, that footage becomes part of the case against every person identified in it. Now here is how this touches everyday drivers. You do not have to be a street racer for this to affect you. If you are driving through a neighborhood and someone else is racing nearby and a camera, a phone, or a bystander captures your car in that footage, you could find yourself pulled into an investigation. Insurance companies in these states are also checking social media as part of claims investigations. The line between being in the wrong place and being criminally implicated is thinner than most people realize. Your fix is to simply be very deliberate about where you drive and at what hours. If you notice aggressive driving around you, racing, excessive speeding, erratic behavior, slow down and create as much distance as you can. Do not engage. Do not accelerate to get away faster. Just let them go and call 911 if you feel it is unsafe. And now we are at number 1. The law that most people have no idea is sitting on the books waiting for them. This one floored me when I found it, and it is not theoretical. It is already costing people thousands of dollars and in the most serious cases putting them in handcuffs. Number 1. Obstructing or altering your license. Plate is no longer just a traffic ticket. In multiple states, it is now a criminal offense. In Georgia, Senate Bill 291 was passed to clarify and strengthen existing license plate obstruction laws. Those laws come with fines of up to $1,000 and up to 12 months in jail. That is 1 full year of incarceration for a license plate violation. In California, a new law that went into effect January 1st, 2026 criminalizes the use of so-called license plate flippers. These are devices sometimes remote controlled that flip or obscure your plate to hide it from cameras. Using one brings a $250 fine for the driver, but selling one now carries a $1,000 fine. Tinted or shaded license plate covers are also banned. Under the new California law, Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware all implemented new visibility standards for license plates in 2026 specifically to support automated enforcement systems. What that means in practical terms is this: if your plate has a frame that slightly covers even the top or bottom edge of your numbers, or if your plate has any discoloration, damage, or cover that makes it harder for a camera to read, you can be cited. And in Georgia's case, that citation can turn into a $1,000 fine before you have even finished making your case to a judge. Here is the scenario that is playing out right now across the country. A retired teacher in suburban Atlanta put a decorative frame around her license plate years ago, a souvenir from a college football game. She never thought anything of it. A traffic camera flags her plate as partially obscured. The citation she receives is not $50. It is a criminal level offense under Georgia's obstruction law, with fines that start at several $100s and a court summons attached. Your fix is this: walk out to your car after you finish watching this video and look at your license plate. Both plates, front and back, in states that require two. Make sure the plate is clean and completely visible. Remove any frame, cover, or decoration that touches or overlaps any part of the numbers, letters, state name, or registration. Sticker. If your plate is damaged, bent, or faded, replace it. Your local DMV can issue a replacement plate for a small fee. Do this today. It takes 5 minutes and it can save you from a legal nightmare. Here is exactly what I want you to do this week. First, check your phone habits right now. Before you start your car tomorrow morning, put your phone in your bag or glove compartment, not the cuffholder, not in your hand at a red light. Away. If you use GPS, set it before you turn the key. This single habit change protects you from the laws we talked about in number 9, 8, and 7 all at once. Second, call your insurance company this week. Ask them directly, am I currently enrolled in any telematics or behavior tracking program? If you are, ask whether your data can be used to raise your rates. If the answer is yes, ask about opting out. Your independence should not be sold to a data broker without your permission. Third, go check your car's privacy settings, whether it is through your car manufacturer's app or the settings menu in your infotainment screen. Find the data sharing options and turn off everything that is not essential for navigation or emergency services. This protects you from number 4 and number 3 on our list. Fourth, do a license plate check today, literally right now, after this video. Go outside, look at both plates, remove any frames, covers, or accessories that touch the visible area of the plate. If the plate itself is dirty or damaged, clean it or replace it at your local DMV. This 5-minute task could save you from what we covered in number 1. And fifth, sign up for your state's DMV email alerts. Almost every state DMV now has a free email or text notification system that tells you when laws, renewal requirements, or enforcement zones change in your area. Just search your state name plus DMV email alerts and sign up. Staying informed costs you nothing. Being caught off guard can cost you everything. Here is the one thing I want you to carry with you after this video ends. In 2026, traffic enforcement is no longer just about a police officer watching you drive. It is about cameras, AI systems, insurance trackers, connected vehicle data, and laws that can turn everyday habits into serious legal and financial consequences. You have been driving safely for decades. That matters enormously, and that experience deserves to be protected by awareness, not caught off guard by ignorance. The most important thing you can do right now today is check your license plate. It is free. It takes 5 minutes, and based on what we covered in number 1, it could be the single most valuable 5 minutes you spend this week. Do not let a decorative frame be the thing that lands you in court. I would love to know which of these 10 changes surprised you the most. Drop it in the comments below. I genuinely read every single one, and your question might become the subject of the next video. If this information helped you today, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds, and it means I can keep bringing you this kind of straight-talking, real-world information every single week. Take care of yourself out there. Drive safe, drive smart, and protect that freedom.